I and many others have AI fatigue. I'm tired of having AI shoved down my throat. When I'm watching YouTube, every single ad I'm getting, it feels like, is for AI. It'll either be some company coming out with some new AI product or a new AI model in a phone, or it'll be some product that's now powered by AI when it never needed to be in the first place. And the worst of them all are these AI generated ads from companies like Kalshi. Basically, it's just an online gambling site. Like, we don't have enough of those, which features a predictions market, which is a whole nother thing. I think, honestly, ads for gambling should be illegal, but whatever. The point is, everything is just AI. It feels like they're trying so hard to sell us this false reality that AI in its current form is completely revolutionary. When most of the products that are now integrating AI, you're just getting a worse product, it feels like. And I think they just want to slap AI onto everything so that their stock prices can go up. Because it seems like this entire stock market is just fueled by speculation on AI. These companies that have no path to profit are just banking that, I don't know, a year, 3 years in the future, that AI will be so advanced that basically it can just replace all of our jobs. And then, even though this AI integration doesn't make the products much better at all, the stock just continues to go up, even when they completely miss their earnings, expected earnings. They're actually losing money. The stock just goes up. The stock market just is completely misaligned with the reality of the economy. And it's honestly not a matter of if we're in an AI bubble, because we are in an AI bubble. It's just a matter of when it's going to pop. But there's no point in trying to predict when it's going to pop, because you can never really predict the stock market. And you never should try to time the stock market. So I basically just have to keep on investing in these companies that at any time in the future could just fall 50%. And at the same time, we have these AI data centers that are being put into like suburbs that nobody living there wants. And their electricity prices are going way up because now we have to use all this electricity to power AI. And then to inflate like how much people are using AI, you got companies like Google that just slap like an AI search when you Google search something, and the only way to not have it do a AI prompt is to add minus AI to the end of your search, when like it should definitely just be a setting in your Google account that you can just change so that it doesn't do an AI prompt when you search for something. Because I don't want it to do an AI prompt when I don't need it to, you know? And there's also the whole thing about water usage, which is kind of like misinformation. AI does use a lot of water, but it's not as extreme as someone who doesn't know like water usage in other things like golf and corn would think that the amount of water that AI uses is like gonna kill us all, but really it's a more normal amount. But the main thing with that is water usage in areas that don't get a lot of water, like building a data center in like the desert, like in Arizona or something. There's also the problem that as more people rely on AI to just think for them, answer everything for them, it's just going to reduce our society as a whole's critical thinking abilities, which was already pretty low, in my opinion. And that's just going to get worse. Especially when those answers that the AI is giving you sometimes are just wrong. But people treat it like it's always right. Kind of like, I guess, when Google search first came out, and then we had to start teaching people, hey, don't trust everything the internet says, you know? We're kind of repeating history here, where people are just believing everything the AI tells them, even though it hallucinates frequently. It just makes stuff up sometimes, mostly because it just wants to please you. It wants to make you happy so that you continue to use it. So it'll just tell you what you want to hear a lot of the times. And it's, which also causes it to just be a sycophant. you could say something that's just wrong, and sometimes it'll just say like, wow, you're so correct. I didn't think of that. You're so smart. When a lot of the times these people need to be told that they're dumb. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it. And then the information that the AI makes up is used to train other AI models. So then we just end up in this cycle of AI poisoning where one piece of misinformation an AI makes up, and then it uses that information to train another one, and then that one thinks that that information's correct when it's not and continues to spread it around as if it's correct. And then we just end up with more misinformation. And I can't really see in the near future of that being regulated, considering this current administration wants to ban all states from having their own regulation on AI. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe some Peter Thiel stuff. There's also the things that AI is replacing, like social interaction, where people are just having the AI be their friend and basically comfort them and be their therapist. I mean, I suppose it's better than being completely lonely and literally having nobody to talk to, but too much of anything is a bad thing. Like, this will get unhealthy. It's already gotten unhealthy for a lot of people. More importantly, it's also replacing jobs. It's been replacing jobs. There's been tons of layoffs at these tech companies, and it's going to continue to lay people off because the biggest expense for a lot of companies are the wages that they pay their employees. And so if they can have an AI do something for basically free, they don't have to pay those wages. They get the same output from the AI worker, and basically the business wins and we all lose. That's the future that these tech billionaires want to go towards. Now, to be honest, I would love if, like, none of us had to work and we all could just live comfortably and have these robots do all of the, like, hard work for us. That'd be great. But that requires, you know, us to get some sort of universal basic income or something that we can survive off of, considering we're not getting money from not working. And I definitely don't see that being implemented anytime soon. So we're kind of just rushing towards like mass unemployment if these AIs can really replace as many jobs as these tech CEOs seem to think it can. And then there's also AI art, which, first of all, it doesn't even look good most of the time. Like, you can tell when something's AI art. Like Call of Duty, one of the biggest video game franchises in the world, has just a ton of AI art all over the place, even though they could easily pay for talented artists to make these like calling cards and stuff. But even these companies that have a ton of cash flow are still just like, we can save money by using AI art, so we end up with a worse product just so they can save some money. And then the game is not even cheaper. It's $70. It's more expensive. Call of Duty is more expensive than it was a few years ago when all games were $60. And it's only a matter of time before all games are $80. I mean, some Switch 2 games, or maybe it's just Mario Kart World, is already $80. And I know for a fact that if Game Freak can get away with it, they will make the next Pokemon game be $80. But anyway, back to AI art. Not only does it just not even look good, but like, why do we have AI replacing creative jobs, like artists, instead of labor jobs, you know? Or even management jobs, which I think some management jobs are getting replaced by AI. Why was art one of the first things that like AI was used to like replace? The way that these AIs work, it's not really coming up with new ideas. It's just trained on basically a ton of past information fed into it, and then it uses that to, like, for when it's making words, when it's making text, it uses that past information to predict what the next word is going to be, and then the next word, and then the next word. And it's kind of the same thing with art. It's trained on a bunch of art, and then it uses that training to make an image based on what you prompt it to make, but it's still basically predicting what a new creation would look like using that past data. So it's not really creating anything completely original. There's also the whole thing about like RAM becoming way more expensive because these companies don't want to sell RAM to consumers. They'd rather sell RAM to these AI companies because they're willing to pay more. And so now, if they are going to sell RAM to us consumers, it's only if they can sell it at like double the price. But there is a silver lining, and that's that I think other people are starting to get tired of it too. I think people are more able to recognize that something is AI art, and really it's kind of becoming associated with lower quality. I know for me, when I see a video game using AI art, I think of less of that game. I think less of that company. I'm probably still in the minority. I know there's a ton of people who just use AI, they see no problem with it, but I'm just tired of it. I really am. But that's a lot. And I really don't want to ruminate on this stuff more than I already have. So I think I'm just going to leave it at that. Now, if you're having a panic attack over all this, it's going to be okay. Some bad stuff might come out of this, but it's not going to be the end of the world. I still have confidence that if major problems do arise, that they will also be solved. But for the meantime, I'm tired of AI. Thanks for watching.